Hi, everybody. Welcome to Dot Life and happy Thanksgiving. We are not going to have a news segment this week because we are all going to be having Thanksgiving dinner with our families. So we're taking the week off from news, but we do have a great conversation for you today. You can tell we're not in our normal studio. We are actually very lucky to be in the St. Brennan Church on Gallivan Boulevard / Rita Road over in Ashmont neighborhood.
Cedar Grove
neighborhood of Dorchester. And that voice, I am joined by John Parsons, who is a member of the Friends of St. Brennan. Hi, John.
Hi.
And you are the brother of friend of the pod, Richie Parsons.
That's right.
Who has played a Tiny Dot concert for us. So older or younger than Richie?
I am older than Richie.
Older, okay.
Yeah. I'm the middle child.
The middle child.
Yeah.
Do you have classic middle child personality traits?
100%. Yeah.
You're very self-aware.
Yeah. Play the room.
Love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So thank you for inviting us here. I've always wondered what it looks like inside because it's such a prominent building on Gallivan Boulevard.
It is.
It's hard to miss.
Yeah. Yeah.
How long has this church been here?
Since 1933 they started building, but the parish was put together in 1929.
Okay.
It was in a garage site up the boulevard where they met.
Okay.
Until they were able to build down here.
And how long did it take to build? Do you know?
Well, it was pretty quick. It was less than 2 years.
Oh, wow.
It was up, yeah.
Nice. And there is a church attached, a school attached to the church.
School's up the hill.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you were saying earlier, this is the last parish-associated school in
Yeah, it's the only
Dorchester?
independent parish school in Dorchester.
Wow.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about the parishes in a bit, but before we get into that, can you tell us about you? You used to live on Westmoreland as a kid, but now you're not in Dorchester anymore.
No. Yeah. I grew up on Westmoreland Street, and my family was there for 100 years in that house. And before that, they were in other parts of what we would now call the parish.
Okay.
Early on. So an old Dorchester family. Actually, 1635 with some of them. So.
Oh my gosh.
We've been here for a while.
Very old Dorchester family.
Yeah. But now we're a Catholic Dorchester family.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
at some point along the line.
And you grew up going to this church?
I did, and I
Okay.
went to St. Brennan School for my first 5 years.
Okay.
And my brothers, we were altar boys here. My father was one of the first lectors that they had, and he taught CCD here for 25 years or more, and I taught CCD here for 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was telling you before we started recording that being from outside of Buffalo, Catholic church is a little less prominent in that area. It's more a Protestant church, so I'm not actually familiar with what CCD means.
I think it was the Confraternity of Christian Doctrine.
Is that
It's
like confirmation
Sunday school.
classes? Oh, Sunday school.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Translate to Protestant for me.
Yeah.
And you said that you are you're a painter?
Yeah, a decorative painter by trade. Yeah.
And you've done some of the painting in the church.
I have, which
great.
is a joy to me because I think it's where my first inspiration came from.
Sitting in the pews.
Sitting here, the steering wheel, you could only look forward, you couldn't look back, you had to look forward, and the only thing I could stare at was the beautiful wall behind the altar, which is now a solid color, but it was pretty ornate then.
Yeah. So you painted some of the walls. You've also, you still attend the church.
I do, yeah.
And what is the role of the Friends of St. Brennan?
Well, the Friends of St. Brennan is a nonprofit. It had initially a fundraising objective.
Okay.
It formed shortly after a proposal to stay open was accepted. And part of that proposal was to augment the offertory.
Okay.
So we will be responsible up to $100,000 a year for 3 years.
And that's contingent, the church stayed open with that contingency?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And this was, 3 years ago?
2023.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first fiscal year was, we met that goal. And certainly to their surprise.
I think a lot of people were surprised
Yeah,
because
yeah.
It seemed pretty dire when it first was announced that this was probably going to close.
Yes, it was. And it was entirely, I think, premature and without thought of how involved people were. And I don't think what was weighed in was the impact of COVID on the congregation and how it takes work to get it back.
Yeah. So let's actually talk about that period. Then I want to back up a little bit to before the closure started. But what were the threats? It was mostly just attendance-based? Attendance was going down at the time? Is that why they were thinking of closing this location?
Well, I think partly, too, was that they had neglected or deferred maintenance for so long that between the two churches now, because we were merged
with St. Anne's.
With St. Anne,
Yep.
that this was going to require some money.
Significant, yeah.
And it appeared to be the one that would, on paper, would look like it should go.
Yeah.
You know.
And then the community just kind of said no.
Yeah, right. People that they had no idea were willing to step forward.
Yeah.
But part of the attraction of Friends of St. Brendan being a 501c3 was the way it was structured, that people were comfortable to donate to it because it was stipulated that should the church close or should they decide to close the church in spite of meeting our obligations, that we would just turn the money over in different ways to the school.
So the school was always intended to stay open even if the church had closed?
We were told that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's saved. It's still open.
Right. Right.
Do you see more people kind of renewed interest in being
yeah, because part of our the metrics that we had to follow was attendance.
Okay.
And the attendance has gone up.
What does a weekly attendance look like on average?
I believe it's averaged at 244.
That's pretty good.
It is. It is. But when you consider the size of the population, but it's that way everywhere.
Yeah.
The kids have sports on weekends like they never had before.
Yeah.
Different obligations like that.
Yeah.
You know.
I want to take a step back as someone who's not from here and is not a Catholic. I'm a little mystified by the importance of the Catholic Church in Dorchester historically.
Yeah.
Can you talk about growing up? I think people even would say, what parish are you from, right? Like it's kind of divided into parishes.
Yes, yeah, 100%.
Talk about that. Like what role did the Catholic Church play?
Well, chances are you were Catholic, and chances are you went to the Catholic school,
Okay.
which then had a band, or it had altar servers, it had a choir, it had sports teams. It
They
ran
had sports teams, the church?
Oh yeah, every parish had a softball team or baseball team or bowling leagues, and they had everything.
So it was your life.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and slowly those things got picked up by other groups,
Yeah.
citywide kind of groups or whatever like that, and bands kind of fell apart. We had St. Anne's had a huge color guard for a long time.
So you had, like, you were a St. Brennan, like, was it territorial? Like, did you say, I'm from St. Brennan, you're from St. Anne?
Just marginally.
Okay.
Just marginally. It's funny seeing that going forward, though. People will still say those funny little things. We'll just laugh about them now,
Yeah.
when they say that. But, I mean, it was the center of your life,
Yeah. And you would come to service every Sunday as well?
Every Sunday, every day in the month of May, every day during Lent, every first Friday. We were here in church a lot.
That's a lot of church.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why
Right.
every day in May? What's in May?
Blessed Mother. It's the month of May for the Blessed Mother.
Okay.
So
Fascinating.
it's got all its own songs, all its own stuff. So yeah, it was great. And then you had the May procession, and you'd have the most Mary-like girl in the 8th grade class would wear a wedding gown and come in and crown the Blessed Mother.
It sounds lovely.
Yeah.
A little odd.
Now I think you'd terrorize an 8th grader making her do something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So tell me more about the schools, too. So there was the church component, and then the school was run by the church?
Yeah, most of the churches, the schools then were run by different religious orders.
Okay.
Sisters of St. Joseph were the St. Brendan's nuns. I think Notre Dame nuns were at St. Anne's.
Okay.
Different order. Yeah, but they were all teaching orders, as they call them.
And was it based on where you lived, or could you pick which parish school you went to?
No, you could only go, you go to your parish
You
school
go to your
only.
parish, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The church was more territorial, I think, than the parishioners at that point, because I've seen in looking through the archives letters that people would write petitioning to be able to come and get married at the church that they weren't officially part of, but it was always more convenient for them because they were just one street outside of the parish, and they've been going there for years. So they had to formally ask to be able to
get an
make the
exception.
sacrament.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What is attendance-wise? You said this is about 244, 245 a week. What was it back then? Do you have a sense of?
I can tell you that in 1929, 1,650.
On an average week, not on like Christmas.
On a Sunday, just Sunday. No, there was no daily mass, no Saturday mass. No, yeah.
So it has faded quite a bit, but I think we've seen lately a bit of a resurgence of religion in general, Christianity in particular, Catholicism included, in the U.S. Is that also being represented here?
Yeah, we're clearly part of that trend. Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Well, a lot of people believed that they were going to go to hell if they didn't go to church.
Back then.
Yeah.
Maybe still now.
Yeah, I mean, I think people have eased up, and it's more of they go to churches that they're attracted to.
Yeah.
And that's part of the physical look of the building, the charisma of the pastor, the activities that the church might have and sponsor that you are drawn to and want to be part of.
The congregation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
What does St. Brennan's do to kind of give modern offerings of those types of things while adhering to, traditional Catholic doctrine?
Right. Well, that's something that Friends of St. Brennan's has taken upon themselves, because I think part of the decline here was represented by the fact that there was not a lot of energy in keeping groups together.
Okay.
Especially if what was on the horizon was a closing. You want to not have your congregation being really tight.
Yeah.
So we have expanded on our St. Vincent de Paul Society here. That's a charitable group.
I've heard of that.
How they
Yeah.
work.
Okay.
To make the St. Vincent de Paul Society here more effective, we did some fundraising and promotion of them that we did for our own purposes to stay open here.
Okay.
Part of it was a community partnership that we've done with the local businesses that helped support us in our Gathering for Good event in April.
Okay.
So what we did was we approached the Irish Pastoral Center, which is open 5 or more days a week,
Yeah.
to be a drop-off spot for food during the week, because
Okay.
the only time you could drop food off here was if you came to church and walked up the stairs with your bag of food and put it in the basket in the church. So
Yeah.
they weren't getting as much food from the community as they could. And Irish Pastoral Center was so glad to step up
I bet,
and do
yeah.
that. And then John Stenson, who owns the Erie Pub, he volunteered to be a sustaining supporter of it. So if the pantry got low, they'd be able to call on him.
And is that all year
for some
round?
support. His support?
The donations are accepted all year round?
All year round.
Okay. So at the Erie, the Irish Pastoral?
Well, the Erie doesn't accept donations. He has taken upon himself to financially help them when
Got
the
it,
pantry is
okay.
low. The Irish Pastoral Center. And another thing we did, which was a little innovative, is the Irish Pastoral Center will now accept online grocery deliveries. So if you're shopping...
That's great.
It is, because
Yeah.
there are people who...
So modern.
I know. Imagine if you're not going to the supermarket to buy your food, you might not be coming to church, or you might not
Right.
be inclined to even want to walk down to the Irish Pastoral Center with
Right.
your groceries.
Or
You
be
do it-
able to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or you just can't be able to. And so
Yeah.
if you're shopping online and you see something that's on sale and you say, hey, I'm going to buy a case of that and send it to the Irish Pastoral Center for the St. Vincent
So
de Paul.
they have details. Are there details on the Friends of St. Brennan site on how to do that?
On the friendsofstbrennan.org site,
Okay.
if you go to the menu, it's the Father Freitas Food Pantry.
Okay. I mean, we
It
are
gives you
going
all the
into
particulars.
winter. We're going into holiday season. This is the time
Yeah.
to start thinking about giving to your neighbors if you can. So,
Oh, yeah. And on another note on the,
Yeah.
on the St. Vincent de Paul, as soon as the Irish Pastoral Center accepted that, there was members of theirs that live in the community that saw the opportunity, because I love how the Irish see the opportunity for a challenge or a competition. So these two wonderful little boys, Mihal and Keon, put flyers in their neighbors' doors. Really brilliantly. They just said why they were doing it, who they were doing it for. We've got a tote on our front porch. You can drop things in. But if not, could you just leave a bag out on Saturday morning and we'll pick it up?
Okay.
So that pulled in 50 bags of groceries.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. They put the challenge to 2 more of their friends. Another 40 bags of groceries came.
Wow.
They put their challenge out to they are just...
They're crushing it. Love
They're
that.
doing the best job. And
Yeah.
it was all on their own. It was just
Oh,
filled everyone.
that's great. Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, you can come here and you can light a candle,
Yeah.
but when you see the candle light someplace else,
Yeah.
it just makes you realize that everything we're doing is been for the right reasons, and this is exactly who we have been all along. We just finally get to show it again,
Right. Right.
you know?
Yeah, I think that's really the manifestation of what you believe in the community is the point, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
What other things does this parish, this church do for the community? So you have some of those social things that you talked about that have kind of moved away from the church. Are those still? Are there's not sports leagues or anything anymore? But is there activity nights or anything like that?
There are, there is there's a softball game that they do, and there is still like minimal, though.
Yeah.
You know, there is an event called the Friendship Social that Friends of St. Brendan's has taken like under its umbrella.
Okay.
And it was a local gentleman, Dennis Walsh. He's been doing it for more than 10 years. Down at Florian Hall, and he has a party that they call for people of all abilities. So he realized there were a lot of people that were living in group homes and senior housing that never get invited to a party.
Yeah.
So he has a party for them.
That's really nice.
It's a spectacular day. It's a $15 donation when you go in.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, if you want to have your spirits lifted, when the music is playing there and people are dancing, they're so happy to see each other and be out. It's just he does it twice a year.
Okay.
You know, it's such a great thing.
Is that something people can donate to as well?
You can go on the site and
Okay.
and make a donation there too.
Okay.
Yeah, to Dennis, to Friendship Social. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very nice.
Yeah.
How is St. Brennan's connected with the rest of the Catholic churches in Dorchester? Is it just you and St. Anne that have a relationship, or?
Yeah, one time there was a collaborative. You know, they tried to do it different ways.
Okay.
And so after the collaborative, there was the merger. And
Okay.
It was just us and St. Anne.
Okay. And I know there's, is it St. Greg's and St. Mark's? Are those churches still they're still open, right? And they're still functioning? Okay.
Yeah, and they're doing very well.
Okay.
Yeah, and St. Ambrose is doing terrifically.
What's the one in Lower Mills?
That's St. Gregory's.
That's St. Gregory's, okay.
Yeah.
We talked a little about the resurgence of Catholicism. I think part of that is we have an American Pope.
Yeah.
How has that affected St. Brennan's in particular and Catholics in Dorchester?
You know, I honestly can't put my finger on what may have changed or not with that, because we haven't heard much. I do know I saw St. Gregory's bulletin, and they had a really nice quote from him about that. Well, there was from a previous writing, but just love that he's into the social justice arena.
Making statements and getting the Catholic leaders to make statements about American immigration policy in particular is really powerful.
Yeah, because I think social justice, that brings you closer to what love really is than anything else. And you can learn, you can put judgmentalism aside so easily if you follow that type of gospel.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a great thing. And I had a grandson, Leo, born this summer.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, 3 days after the conclave.
No way.
Yeah. So,
did you guys release white smoke when he was?
Yeah, when he was born 6 weeks early. Yeah.
Was he really?
Yeah,
oh, no.
yeah. But he was Leo before he was Leo all along.
He
was going to be Leo.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a great little guy.
And he's doing
fine.
okay?
Perfect.
Oh,
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Tell me more about the Friends of St. Brennan. Anything else that you want folks to know about the organization or ways people can support?
Oh, sure. Well, we'd mentioned the website online, and we have the wall here where supporters can put their names on the wall around the altar, and we also have the brass plaques under the stained glass windows if you want to write something more than just their name.
Okay.
You know, some people want to remember their grandparents or their parents, and some people just put their names up themselves.
Okay.
So
when did this fundraising start, though? The putting the names on the walls.
I was keen on painting these walls in a faux marble.
Okay.
And I was tossing around the idea of sponsorship to do it. And at the same time, we were faced with how are we going to come up with $100,000 in the next 6 months?
Which is part of the requirement from the,
Yeah. And then when I heard that the Friends of St. Brendan's 501c3 was formed, I knew that people would comfortably give then. And then the right people got behind it that knew how to set up the thing online and promote it and print up beautiful pamphlet type things.
Yep.
And away it went. And we were secure.
Yeah.
So you can continue to give and put the names up. The wall tells a fabulous story now. If you're a parishioner and you walk through and you see them, and we put a small cross before your name if you're deceased.
Okay.
So a married couple can go up on the wall even if one of them's deceased, so they can be together.
Yeah.
On the wall like that. I got a little inspiration from Maya Lin, who did the Vietnam Veterans
Oh, yeah.
wall.
Right. Yep.
I read her book, and
That's a beautiful wall. I've actually been there, and so moving. Yeah.
Well, people that come up here on the to see the names on the wall, you can tell by the way they stop and stand still for a minute that it's moving to them. You know, it's been a really nice thing.
Do you feel a little bit like Michelangelo when you paint the church?
I wonder, was he thinking the same things I'm thinking? Yeah. But I think that our community partnership, I think, is our way forward because we've brought the church to the people instead of standing here waiting for the people to come back.
Yeah.
And it's working that way. Just seeing those two little boys do that wasn't brought on by their teachers or by anybody. And I'm telling you, the Irish Pastoral Center is burning a candle. They're a bright light there.
Absolutely.
But when they took the St. Vincent de Paul Society on, they just added one, and there's a candle at the Erie Pub now too. So
more candles.
I think it's our way forward.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's the role the church should be playing is influencing people in the community to do not just say the right thing. So
yes,
absolutely. Last question: what's your favorite restaurant in Dorchester?
Can we just say my favorite restaurant in Adams Corner?
Yes.
It's like picking out your favorite puppy from a litter. But the first one that comes to mind, I have to be honest, the first one that comes to mind is Blasi's.
Yes.
I could, if life wouldn't be worth living without eggplant rollatini or honey hots. So there you go.
The honey hots are, I'm with you.
Yeah, right. Sometimes I want them, but I'm like, but I want to eat the whole eggplant rollatini. I don't want. So I love it there. I love it there, and because I feel really welcome there. Maria is a sweetheart and great wait staff, and it's nice. It's
a very comfortable area with great TVs and great seating, and you never feel crowded in there, which is even when there's a lot of people in there, there's a lot of space. So great. Well, John, thanks so much.
Oh, thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was great. Thanks.
Have a nice holiday.
You too. Thanks. Bye-bye.